But let's go to what it's like to be a Chad, right? And this is kind of, I think these people are useless. Nancy Mace seems horrible. Her boyfriend, I don't know, I guess maybe he's not the greatest. You guys are living a weird life. I'm just saying that. It's not the one I would live. And so you're living a little, I'm just presuming, a little dangerous, and there you are. Now, we have people that argue about how you should live all the time, okay? I'm maybe one of them. I'm just live my own life. I could mock you for what you do. I'm not telling you you must live away. I'm just giving you advice of what is likely the best outcome. Okay, doesn't mean and part of that is me telling you that I haven't always lived the best, right? There's things in your life that you're not fond of. You can learn from them. If you don't learn from them, that's perfectly fine. Lauren Witzke, I saw, people are mocking her because there's this, photo of her where I guess she was methed out at some point and saying, "Oh, is this you?" And she owns it. I've met her. I've swam with, well, I was in the swimming pool. She was in the swimming pool at Top Lobster's house. She looked just fine. Just had a child, nice husband. She had a nanny, nice looking people. She didn't look methed out. She's recovered from this. My point is she doesn't hide from this kind of lifestyle that you went through. So if someone is trying to bring that up as a gotcha to her, she doesn't ridicule them necessarily. She just, from what I've seen online, she just owns it. Okay. Now that's an important thing to watch this interview though. This is an interview. This bit of it, it's just a clip, but it's our friend Andrew Wilson. I say friend sparingly. Watch how he handles this lady ripping him.
I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So Andrew.
Okay, so first of all, that might not have been a great debate tactic to go after her personally. So once you do, and I've said this before, which is, look, people look all different ways online. I'm not one of those that screenshots their picture and reposts it up there because that's kind of a gotcha. Unless it's in response to them doing that kind of thing too, right? Glass houses and all that. So he then goes, look, I'm not going to convince you. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucktard. And then there's a side photo of him, and he's Mr. Pudge, which is great. So now let's hear her remark. Are you allowed to retort to something like that with digging down in the dirt? Just in court. Which day was this? It's Monday. I guess it's only Tuesday. It feels like a full week already. And at some point, I told my client, I was like, it's you and the other party seem to, you guys aren't necessarily disagreeing on a ton of stuff, but for some reason, the attorney and I started getting in the muck. And we're just kind of going at it. And it doesn't always feel good, but here you go.
Can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you lick
sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What does that
You're
mean?
a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did
daddies?
I just say? Dyke?
Your wife with the 3 baby daddies?
I'm sorry, Dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to...
What's the difference? I'm sorry. I don't know the circumstances of 3 kids with 3 dads. That's rough, I'm going to say. And I will say this, shit happens, right? This is what I talked about Lauren. Shit happens, but you've got to own it. And then if you're going to go out there and be like a pastor, or you're going to preach about these kind of things, you've then got to say, I was this, Amazing Grace, right? The song Amazing Grace. A wretch like me, I once was lost and now I'm saved, or whatever the lyrics, you understand, this guy was actually a slave person, and then slave person, a slave trader, and then was for abolition. So the guy that wrote the Amazing Grace song. So you can have evil stuff in your life, but do you then own it? Or do you then mock people who bring it up? And it's only mocking. And I'm not saying that her tactics are great here either. This is just fascinating to me that somehow you've got this thing in your life and it's like, you know what? But for the grace of God, we've fixed this situation. I've adopted my kids from my wife She with her former husband. I've been divorced. It's not the best. God, and my son's getting married this next year. And, my concern is that this stuff happens to your own kids. You've got to, learn from these situations and you've got to own it. That's part of being a responsible adult. I don't think he owns it, or he's embarrassed and she got him. So she's a lesbian. Therefore, what is it worse, being a lesbian or having 3 kids with 3 different dads? I don't know.
Do the women that you try
show
to
your hatred against?
You try to?
Too bad too, because she's not bad looking. Too bad she's a lesbian.
That they shouldn't.
Charlie, did I bring
women? Do they know
Charlie?
that
Did
your
I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
Did I bring any of your
You
family
called me
into
fucking
anything?
stupid.
Did I
You
say
called
anything
me
about
fucking
your
stupid.
family being stupid, Charlie?
You could.
It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people
Okay.
on are bullshit. Because
Let's
you
go.
are.
Okay, I disagree with her there. That's not that the values are bullshit. It's that the seller is bullshit. And when you go to these big mega churches and they're selling you this bullshit and they're living their lives differently, Nancy Mace out there, you expect her to be this wonderful bastion of public whatever, and she's not.